Hello, everybody, and welcome to Oxygen Not Included 2026. I am Photonium, and I'm going to be doing a guide for you to get started in this game with all of the updates that have happened. So I'm going to go in depth in most topics that we look at. So we're just going to go from the starting screen to a functioning base, and I'm going to explain a lot of it in depth. It's not going to be min-maxing. It's going to be, what it is that you're looking at so you understand it, so you can, play this game in a knowledgeable way, I guess. I am going to have all of the expansions disabled, but if you have Spaced Out, most of this is going to be relevant, and then we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll do one for getting started in Spaced Out as well. And I will just mention as we go along, certain things that might be different in Spaced Out. I'm also going to mention changes in the game. So if you've looked at an older tutorial, it might not be correct as far as some of the current updates that have happened for the game. So I'm going to try to point out why I might be different from some other tutorials that you've watched. And we are going to get started on this screen here. Yes, I have every DLC, but I'm going to have them all disabled, so don't worry about that. I have all my mods turned off. No mods. We will do one tutorial about mods, but not this one. This right now, just to get you started, what is the first thing that you're going to do? New game. Well, let's talk about the supply closet actually, since we're here. If you're brand new to the game, pop in here, and there should be claim blueprints, and you can get some blueprint packs for free, and we'll go into those when we're playing, because on this screen it doesn't really make sense, but... Okay, so, new game. No mods, no DLC, new game. And I've actually never played Space No Sweat. I don't think that's the real game. So we're going to go into survival, and I'll show you how to make it a little bit easier if it's been too hard for you. Oh, what did I just do? I didn't mean to. I accidentally double-clicked. So survival. Standard and the lab, I'm not even sure. The lab just has a special asteroid. If you only have the base game, it should have this tilted asteroid skewed. But we're not worried about that. We're just going to play standard. This one that you have in the lab is the same seed for everybody. So it's kind of like a way. It's got like some special... it's special in its design because it's like tilted 90 degrees. But we're just going to play standard. So when you start out, it'll pull up Terra here for you. Starting asteroid Terra. Survival chance ideal. These are the things you need to know. And then world traits. Terra doesn't have any world traits, so we'll talk about those in a second. And then coordinates. This is your seed. Wow, seed 7. I didn't know that was a thing. Rerolling the world seed will just change the layout of your asteroid in sense of where different biomes are, how close you are to the top or the bottom. And that's all it does on Terra, where the geysers might be, where the water is. And so we're going to do random, but as I go through this, it's going to change this. But you can also type in your seed. Now look here. Well, let's just reroll, so this looks more normal. We've got 0, V9, 0, and those mean different things. If we go to story traits... So for story traits, I am going to turn them on. If you're confused by them when you start, you can turn all of these off. You don't need them. The original game didn't have them. These have been added in the last couple years. But I am going to turn on these 5. So if you turn on 6, it tells you it's unstable. And we don't need the Biobot builder, but I'd like to show you these things if we get that far. So now our seed has changed. It says 1A instead of V9. So changing your traits changes this part. And then Scramble DLCs, if you have any of these 3 DLCs, you can turn them off or on here. So I've got them all turned off. But it doesn't stop us from being able to select these DLC seeds, but we're not going to. We're going to pretend like they don't exist. So if we go back here, if I scroll through these, it's going to change our seed, by the way. So if you had typed in a specific one that you liked, this will change it. But look here. Okay, so our starting asteroid, Terra, survival chance ideal. Let's just scroll over. Oceania, if you have no DLCs, this is your second one. Starting asteroid, Oceania. Survival chance probable. So it's already gone down a bit with Oceania. And then if we go to the next one, Rime, it went down again. Survival chance likely. So we're going to start on Terra, but I just wanted to point out this is how you can tell basically how hard now we've gone down again to moderate, how hard your starting asteroid is. Our moderate, marginal, slim, and slim is the lowest chance. Okay, and then back to Oceania here. World traits. Each asteroid type other than Terra has world traits, and these change what your asteroid is going to be like. I'm not going to go into detail with these today because we're going to do Terra, and it doesn't have any traits. Okay, so back to my story traits. Okay, they're still the same. These are still turned off. Let's go here to game settings. Okay, so we are on survival mode, and here you can change just, what you're starting. I'm not sure why your seed is here, but this here is this middle part. Oh, whoops. Game settings. So if it's been too hard, take a look here, and we still want survival, but you can go from default hunger, which is how much they eat every day, to fasting, where they eat less. They burn calories more slowly, so they don't need to eat as much. This durability is how much the suits that they're wearing, how long they last, how quickly they break down. So this is a jet suit, for example. On Indestructible, they don't break down at all. Indestructible is actually the default, even though if you scroll through, it says default here. Indestructible is what it loads automatically. Stress relates to how quickly the dupes get stressed out, I guess, pretty clearly. And if you turn it down a little, they get stressed more slowly. And by the way, I've meant to mention, you can turn all of these off. On Tomulus, they don't need food. On Cloud 9, they don't get stressed. So I don't recommend that, but you could make your life a little easier by turning everything down a little bit. But you make it totally easy by turning them off. Okay, I am still going to talk about these other settings. So this is how quickly they'll get sick. So of course you could make that less. You can make it much harder too, by the way. But we're not going to do that now. I'm just saying, if it's been hard, you could turn these things down. Morale is how what morale they start at, and how much morale they need before they get stressed out, I guess I should say. This is how quickly they get stressed when they are stressed. This is the point at which they start to get stressed. And then meteor showers, this is not only how often they happen, I believe, frequency and intensity, but also, how painful they are when they hit. No meteor damage, no worries. I don't know if this means you get no meteors at all. You actually need meteors for long term. They deliver metals that you need long term. In particular, they deliver unrefined ore. Default, this is, even though it doesn't say default, this is what the default is. Care packages, have that turned on. These are, when you go through the printing press, will it give you an option of only selecting duplicates, or will it give you extra things like water, seeds, food, fish, So we want this turned on. Save to cloud, that's up to you. I think it's pretty obvious. Demolier Impact and Bionic Wattage are for the DLCs. Stress reactions is whether they freak out and do something bad when they get stressed. And sandbox mode is just like sandbox mode in any other game. If you turn on sandbox mode, you will not be eligible for the achievements. Okay. So now we're ready to start. If you wanted to play in the same settings, if you want to play the exact same asteroid as I go along, you can just type that in right here. Start game. So that concludes our in-depth look at the settings for starting a new game, and I hope it helps you get the difficulty level that you're looking for. And in the next segment, we will do dupe selection. I know a lot of people have questions about dupe selection, so I hope to see you in that one. I'm Photonium. If you liked this, like it, comment, put in the comments what you'd like to see, and I'll see if I can address it, some things you might be struggling with or questions that you have. And I hope to see you in the next one.